Welcome back everyone for the final video for this $4,000 free-to-play tournament. Excuse me if I sound a little tired. I was up until about 5 AM last night for the final rounds of the tournament and we won. So I'm just going to be going over my account, what my strategy was, and the choices that I made to come out on top. I got pretty lucky towards the end of the tournament. At the very start, I went up against some really heavy hitters like ᴅᴢ and ᴅᴢ, and losing to them while they were T2 players really opened my eyes on what I needed to work on. So on the final day, I was lucky enough to get ᴅᴢ, and she really did change everything for my account, and just having her there as the pre-ban possibility really opened it up for my Heinrich, so that was a huge help. So without further ado, let me show you my account. Let's have a look at my units. So I played Revelation as my strategy, and I have Heinrich, Selins, Yali, Freya, Mia, Plume, and RC77 all on Rev. I also had Hizuki, Lily, and Obol built just in case I wanted to sort of pivot into some sort of CC cleave, and Lily was there just as a speed contest if I needed to steal it from my opponents if I knew they ran a Lily, for example. ᴅᴢ, I pulled on the very last day of the tournament, so I didn't have her for days 1 and 2. So I wasn't feeling too confident, but when I got her, I was luckily just had a Jackal laying around that I was using on Suki as a speed contest. So slapped it on her, managed to roll Red Surge in like 10 rolls, got Shadow Dash in about 5 rolls, and we just went for it. Her stats are not great. These are all just leftover pieces, and I was really hoping to just scare people by picking her and getting her to do well in a match or two so that people might think she's actually invested in, so they would pre-ban her, and that would give me more flexibility in my draft. But if you look, she's not even latticed and her stats suck. The main carries on my team definitely is the RC77 and definitely my Mia, which I speed tuned thanks to the help of some of my guildies from Scarlet, so Yongyo and Chad, to have Mia go first and then RC go afterwards. A lot of my strategy came down to the fact that I really didn't think people could be that tanky after just 30 days, and I learnt because I started playing when the game first started, and I was in the same guild as Young and Bread. I remember the chats that we had back then and what made people struggle in certain matchups. So I just decided to go all in on Rev. And once I saw people like Crimson and Mamoru and even Rose clearing Inferno Rengo, it was a bit scary, not gonna lie, because if they built enough lighthouses, then I would have been in trouble. But luckily they were trying to counter the CC players more. So I got through relatively unscathed. I think I only saw like 2 people running Lighthouse, and that was someone like Neverlucky. He prepared for it really well. And my match with him in Swiss rounds could have gone either way, and there was a bit of luck involved there, and I managed to take the win, but that was probably one of my closest matches. I'll show you my shells as well. So my shells are very good. I went all in on Rev. I had other shells as well, but I deleted them all prior to the tournament so that I could just roll as much as I can. My codexes are just average. I didn't even do Inferno. This is the one that I use on Lily, just as a speed contester. This Ditting carried me throughout all of PvE pretty much. I've got a really good roll there on the max attack, and then I've got almost max roll on the disorder damage. This is nothing. This Halloween was the MVP, and this allowed me to clear Inferno Doki, because if you put this on Kaz, you pretty much perma-CC them. This is what I used on my Ray Mary, and then here is the star of the show, my revelations. So everything here is on Swift Raid, and basically my strategy was just get red Shadow Dash on all of them, and then just roll the others, whatever credits I had left. So my yelly one is 20 speed, this one is 16, and this is the one I use on Silence or Freya. This is 18, I use this on RC77, so I had to go with Insight. 17, this one is 20, this is the one I use on Mia, so also an Insight, because the most important thing about Mia is the strip and the push, and for RC the most important thing is the stun. So Insight on the right hand side was extremely important, and this is also a 20 speed, using this on the Silence, and this one was almost max. This was the one I used on my Heinrich. So overall it worked out very, very well. I had some really close matches, and as you can see, I've been playing some of the matches in the background while I've been yapping. And let me show you where I got to in PvE. My progress in PvE is not even that impressive compared to some of the other people out there. Like I said, Crimson, Mamoru, those guys absolutely smashed it in PvE. When it comes to Anti-Sync, I didn't even get to do Sharon, so I'm missing a lot of lattices there. Embertrek, I couldn't do the last boss because I was all in on Rev from day one, so I didn't invest in Sanya, and I had no healers apart from Ling Luo. Ling Luo, I didn't even invest any lattices into her because it was just not going to be used in my playstyle for PvP, so I didn't even want to risk it. Ethernet Rally, I couldn't even full clear because, again, like I said, no healers. My Hyperlink Charter, I could not finish because Inferno Rengo would be impossible. The only way I was able to do Inferno Sharon was I literally used this Catchy the Guard with no investments, and I just threw a whole bunch of effect accuracy on him and just kept resetting the fight until it worked out. In terms of prowesses, I'll show you how I built my units. I invested in Heinrich just in the bare minimum to pretty much for speed, and then these were just some extra lattices that I had left over, so I threw it on him. Silence, S3 max was important so that I could get her CD to line up with Rev, and then S2 max I used just so that I could Freya cheese. In the off chance that I was able to get Freya and Silence together, I was very confident that thanks to that, no one would be able to outspeed me. When it came to Yelly, it was just S3 max, just to line up with Rev as well. Freya, S1 max, just for the maximum speed as well as the extra turn meter push. S2 was just one extra lattice I had. Mia, you just do this to increase the chance of dispelling, which is her most important part, and then as well as doing speed, because when it comes to Rev, speed is king. For Plume, I went pretty heavy on Plume, but this was towards the end. I just went with S3 max at the start, and then I just invested in her because I felt like when I was trying her in Arena, people were banning my Heinrich and my Freya a lot, so my Plume was actually getting through the draft relatively unscathed, so I felt pretty comfortable investing in her pretty heavily. So she worked out great. I always first picked her and somehow she didn't get banned, so it was pretty good. RC, it's a SR unit, so you just max him. Hizuki, fully maxed out. Lily, S1 is mandatory, everything else is whatever, it's not worth it, I don't think, for such a lattice hungry account. Obol, just the bare minimum, I would say. And then everyone else on my account is 111. My Sanya is 111. She was really helpful in clearing a lot of the content. Granted, I did have pretty bad win rate on some things, but she was more than enough to carry me in Inferno Hou-Yan as long as I built her tanky enough. So I would use the lineup of Lily, Celince, Ling, and Shadow Sanya, and that was enough to do all of my Inferno content. So let's go through my items, because I'm sure some people are interested in what I have rolled. As you can see, I have pretty good luck when it comes to getting speed on this account. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yellow speeds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 17 purple speeds. So honestly, that combined with all the red speeds I had on my shells, I think is a pretty good result, considering all the module farming that I did was strictly done in 2x. So I know a lot of people used their stamina pots early, trying to push their levels as fast as they could so that they could clear content that was resetting, like the first go around of Ethernet Rally. They were able to clear it and they got an extra lattice because of that. But how I saw it was, it would be a waste because I knew a 2x was coming. So I had like 70 stamina pots while some people only had like 20 or 30. And I just gambled on the fact that if I could get all of my stamina pots used during 2x and use it all farming Inferno Doki, then that should give me a really good chance of getting fast enough pieces to win the tournament. And that gamble paid off. So once again, thank you everyone for watching these free-to-play videos. It was a lot of fun playing in them. It was a lot of work, but it all paid off in the end, and it was it was a lot of fun. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.